Waikiki Aquarium. Leaving the Waikiki Aquarium, home to over 3,000 tropical species. Over here on your right side is the War Memorial Natatorium. That was the swimming pool that Duke Kahanamoku used to train for the Olympics at. And this beach park over here on your right side is called Kaimana Beach Park. Kai in Hawaiian means ocean or salt water. Mana means power. Kaimana, the power of the ocean. Like a diamond head. The Hawaiians call diamond head Mount Leahi because they thought it looked like the brow of the ahi fish. And over here on your right side behind these buildings, there's a secret beach back there. If you want to find a secret beach, Google map a surf break called Tong's, T-O-N-G, and you'll find a secret beach. Now I gotta be quiet for about a minute. They got a noise ordinance against my microphone in this neighborhood. Everybody in this neighborhood is snooty. Next surf break here is called cliffs, because you gotta hike down a cliff to get to the spot. We're gonna see if we can pull over and see if anybody's surfing out there at cliffs today. Here on this island of Oahu, Oahu in Hawaiian means the gathering place, and it certainly lives up to its name. With over 1 million people here on this island, we have twice as many people as all the other islands combined. You heard of the Big Apple? $1,000. And you might be wondering, well, why is the land so cheap on the Big Island? Well, it's because you're in the lava zone, and they don't sell volcano insurance. But I got a bunch of hippie friends. They all chip in together and buy a piece of land out there. And they'll just build a house, water catchment, septic tank, generators, solar panels, living 100% off grid, zero bills in a little hippie community just south of Hilo called Pahoa. But you can see all the beautiful flowers in this neighborhood. We got orchids and plumerias, torch ginger, avapui. Avapui is the flower the ancient Hawaiians used as a shampoo. If you squeeze the avapui flower, a sap comes out. You can massage to your hair like a shampoo. The yellow hibiscus is the state flower. And Hawaiians believe if you put a flower behind the ear closest to your heart, it means you're taken. If you put a flower behind your right ear, it means you're single. If you put flowers behind both ears, it means you're ready to get this party started. Next stop is the Kahala Mall. And just to teach you guys a couple of directions real quick so you know what I'm talking about. We say towards the ocean, we say makai. Everybody say makai.
Makai.
And then we say towards the mountain, we say mauka. Everybody say mauka.
Mauka.
Now everybody say hubu 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 hubu. That's state fish. Check that one later. But we're going to be passing through a series of valleys on the way to the Hawaii Thai town area. And each one of these valleys was considered an Ahupua'a. An Ahupua'a is a Hawaiian land division, marked with a pile of rocks with a pig's head sticking out of the top. Pua'a in Hawaiian means pig. But you should be able to get all the sustenance for your entire village from one. The first Polynesians got to Hawaii here in around 400 AD, coming from the Marquesas Islands. You then had a second wave of Polynesians coming from Tahiti and landing here in about 1000 AD. One thing you gotta recognize about these islands is we are the most isolated landmass in the entire world. And Hawaiians always said that they sailed here in a canoe. But a lot of scientists said, hey, that's kind of too far to have sailed in a canoe. You probably floated here on accident or something. But Hawaiians said, no, we sailed here. They want to prove it. And in 1975, the Polynesian Voyaging Society built a double-hulled uprigger canoe called the Hokulea, which means the star of happiness, referring to the guiding zenith star, Arcturus, in the constellation of Boötes that actually rises directly above the latitude of Hawaii on the horizon. And with the Hokulea, the Polynesian Voyaging Society wanted to prove the ancient Hawaiian navigation techniques. The only problem was there were no problems at that time who knew how to sail the vast, deep blue ocean waters. There was, in fact, only one man in the entire world who still had ancient, finding and celestial navigation techniques. A man named Papa Bao from a Polynesian outlier region on an island named Salawat. And Papa Bao began to mentor a Hawaiian navigator by the name of Nainoa Thompson. And in 1980, Nainoa Thompson would become the first Hawaiian in over 1,000 years to successfully navigate the vast deep blue ocean waters. When he sailed from Honolulu, Hawaii to Pepe'epe, Tahiti, over 2,000 miles without the use of navigational instruments. Just using the ocean swells and the wind patterns, bird and fish migration, and star constellations to find his way over those vast distances. Over here on your left side of this ridge up here, that's Hawaii Lower Ridge. That's like the Beverly Hills of Hawaii. You really know you made it if you're living in the gated community of Hawaii Lower Ridge. Hi, Maka Maka. Over 2 million years ago. But the craters that you see, Diamond Head Crater, Punchbowl Crater, Coco Crater, and Hanama Bay, those are part of a much later eruption that we call the Honolulu Volcanic Series that actually created the plain upon which the city of Honolulu was built. And that series of eruptions happened as recently as 35,000 years ago. And Haleakala on Maui erupted about 300 years ago. So, don't think that those craters can't erupt again. They totally can at any time. Whoa, did you feel that rumble? Well, what you have is this hot spot that'll shoot out an island, and then the tectonic plate will move it over, and then it'll shoot out another island, kind of like a conveyor belt. And so Hawaii is the oldest island, and the big island is the youngest island. And there's actually a new island being formed off the coast of the big island, and just how close to the volcano you can get. And it's always this big smoky thing, but if you're lucky, you'll be able to see the lava coming out of the volcano. If you go on YouTube and just type in live volcano, there's actually a camera pointed at the Halima'umau crater 24 hours a day, so you can see if it's erupting or not.
สวยมาก
humorous cartoon channel. And you can come out here to Honolulu Bay, rent jet skis and parasails. You come out here and do some scuba diving. They even got a shark cage that comes out here. Although the shark cage guy got in trouble the other day. When he went back into the marina, all the sharks followed him back into the marina. Guess he was chumming the water too hard. Neighborhood over here on your right side. Bob the Bounty Hunter has a house back there in Fort Black. You'll know his house we get back to get all the armaments to the top. That's that line you see going up the side of the mountain. But now everybody uses that railroad track as a hike. But that's going to be an advanced hike. You don't want to do that hike unless you're in really good shape. I'm getting tired just looking at it. Look how steep it is there at the top. Try one of our easier hikes. Diamond Crater or Manoa Falls. Anama Bay Ocean Reserve here on your right side. That's where everybody goes snorkeling. There's a hike that goes around Anama Bay. You really get views of the ocean from up there. You're going to see a little bit of the...
ผมไม่ล่ะ
Clear day, you can see all the neighbor islands. Today, I can see Molokai, Molokai. Beach, that's where they filmed that movie, From Here to Eternity, with Burt Lancaster and that other actress rolling around in the sand down there. And we're going to be pulling in here to the Halona Blowhole lookout. Alright guys, we're going to do a 5-minute photo op here at the blowhole.
มาเนื้อแล้ว ไปนะ
ขึ้นจะได้คลิปไม่เห็นว่าของจริง
มีแต่ในคลิป
ดูลายที่แหละรถนะแล้วเดี๋ยวก็เราก็ไปดูตรงไหนแล้วก็เซ็นเป็นต้น
If we can see a set. Sometimes you can even see the blowhole spotting from over here. Doing lifeguards will just say, hey, get out of the water. But we're kind of like in an in-between season right now. We're waiting for our big swells to start up here on the South Shore. So we get big swells on the South Shore in the summertime. We get the big waves on the North Shore in the wintertime. But those waves on the North Shore are way bigger than those waves down here on the South Shore. Although I have seen swells on the South Shore where the waves are crashing onto Kalakaua Boulevard. But I've lived here for 30 years, only seen that happen about twice, so a pretty rare event. But all the big surfing competitions are going to happen up on the North Shore in the wintertime in between December and February at Haleiwa, Sunset, and Pipeline, and Waimea Bay. But we even have a surfing mafia up there on the North Shore called Dahui o He'enalu. He'enalu in Hawaiian means surfing. Dahui means like a group or a gang. And nah, mate, I can surf that. And they started taking over all the surf breaks up there on the North Shore. So in response, the Hawaiians formed Dahui to try to control those big surf breaks. And you don't want to mess with these Dahui guys. They'll beat you up in the water. I went to a Dahui party up on the North Shore, and I remember the leader of Dahui is this guy named Eddie Rothman. And I was at the party talking to some surfer girl, and the leader of Dahui, Eddie Rothman, and his buddy, Johnny Boy Gomes, were giving me these dirty looks. And I was like, oh, what's going on? And so I told my friend, I said, hey, yo, Eddie Rothman's giving me this stink eye, man. I don't know what's going on. And then my friend said, oh, it's probably because you're talking to his local lifeguard. His name is Luke Shepherdson. And Luke Shepherdson wanted to watch the Eddie Aikau Big Wave Invitational. He was working. About 2,000 miles to the south of us in Naya, Dolphin, and Kohola, the majestic humpback whale. Wherever you see these Kiawe trees, they have huge horns on them that go right through your sneaker. Over here.
Oh my god. I see.
Big island there is called Rabbit Island. People think it looks like the head of a rabbit. And then the little island next to it is called Kauikaipu Island, a bird sanctuary. And you can see those two twin islands out there in the distance. Those are called the Mokuleas. People paddle out to those islands. There's like sea caves over there. And this is the Makapu'u beach park down here below us. You can see the Makapupu Lighthouse over here on your right side. So next stop, Sea Life Park. Please be aware that I have tickets for half price. If you get the tickets from the gate, they're going to be $60. But if you get them from me, they're just $30. So if you're going to Sea Life Park, save yourself some money and get your tickets from me. wind blowing a conch shell and see the torches of the night marchers approaching. You might want to get the heck out of there.
สวยมากสวย
ทำเรื่องที่พวกผมทำแล้ว
ว้าว
Yeah, good. Oh, thank you so much. That thing was guaranteed to be coming up of the stairwell. I got it. I'm gonna put it in my bag. Yeah, got it. Thanks. Let's go.
จะไม่กินแล้ว
I've seen it 100 times. Once it gets in that position, it's going out the stairs. Now we'll be driving over here on my next tour later. A bunch of guys were like, hey, let's dress up like zombies.